Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Just a moment here. Not sure what my topic is today. Just kind of checking in, letting you know I'm still alive over here or wherever I am according to your location. But yeah, up here, down there, over there, whatever. But yeah, having a pretty good day so far. I'm in my in a second day of a fast. Cheers. Here's to some water. Well water too. It's spring water. Awesome. Yum. Um yeah, I feel better. I cut my sugar out a few weeks ago and I've dropped some pounds, which is good because I need to. Still haven't reached my goal weight, but I wasn't really trying to at first. I didn't want to lose it too quick because I'm aging and I didn't want my skin to fall off my muscles. So I've been kind of doing it gradually, you know because I can drop weight really quick. I mean, especially cutting out the sugar and the fat, which is a great big deal. I mean, depending if you're going to burn it off and it's like in protein or whatever, you'll burn it off. But if it's fats mixed with carbohydrates, you're not going to burn it off. So, yeah. So I'm feeling better is the point. So I did have about all in all about 8 ounces of milk. Oh no, maybe about no, scratch that. I had about 8 ounces last night. I had about 4 ounces earlier this morning. So it was just a fast from solid foods. I did want to get a little bit of protein in there. And it does have sugars and carbohydrates, but the protein, the whey protein, um, and a vitamin helps, you know, with the energy thing. So, yeah. So I've just been sipping my liquids and I feel good. I just didn't feel like eating last night. I mean, at first I did earlier in the day. I was craving, it's called, um, General Tao's chicken, if you're familiar with that, and fried rice. Oh, I love those two things together, and I want some. And it's not too unhealthy, but it's still not the best thing for people, because the General Tao's chicken is dipped in cornstarch, tempura fried, and then coated with sweet spicy sesame type stuff on it. That's really good. So, yeah. I'm just now watching a video about what they call, well, it's a channel I follow called Feral Foraging, and it's for the United States. And he's talking about fairy potatoes, or they're also called spring beauties. And I'm learning about them. I mean, I've seen them before. I've um, got foraging books and mushrooming books for North America and field guides for medicine and herbals and food survivalist guides and all that type of thing. I've studied all my life in botany and that type of thing, but you know, I don't always. I mean, I know a lot of stuff I could eat right now out there in my yard if I have to. If it were that type of situation, nobody would go hungry around me ever, you know. Or like for medicinal medicinal purposes. I know a lot of plant life that helps with all kinds of stuff, so big time. Excuse me. Something that isn't being helped in the world is the sanctity of motherhood. That's really been stomped on forever, way too long. I believe people like men that don't love and respect women. I mean, you don't have to love and respect all of them if they don't earn it. Don't get me wrong, but in general, the nurturing aspect and the what comes out of the mother to put life, that energy, um, a lot of times that's expended for ungrateful bastards, you know, quite frankly. So, yeah, like one sent me a love song yesterday. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was way too sappy. It was by an artist I know. Um, uh, oh, and then I forget her name. Brandy Carlisle, I think is her name. Yeah, I think that's her name. But anyway, she's got a song called The Story, and it was so, even if I was in love, this thing was just like too much, you know what I mean? It for me. It's like somebody buying me roses or flowers and I know their heart isn't in it and then but yet that they would spend or jewelry to spend an amount of money on something that's like it's not all there to begin with. That doesn't buy anything. You know, you just can't buy me with stuff. You know, I planted my own roses. I don't need any, thank you. You know, and love songs. I like a band called 10cc. They have a song called I'm Not in Love. And don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. You know? So if I call you, don't make a fuss. Don't tell your friends about the two of us. Yeah, that was my theme song. It's a long time ago. You know, I just don't fall. I either come together with people on an equal playing field or we're not it's not working. You know, that type of feeling. That's with every relationship. It doesn't matter who they are. I'm no longer taking sloppy seconds from anybody's bullshit, you know. Oh, yeah. So anyway, love songs. Give me a break. No, I send around love songs, and some days, you know, I'll sing them just for like like when you're a kid and you're not in love, but you're singing a love song. You don't really know what it is, but you still like the song. I have a lot of songs from my childhood that are love songs that have absolutely nothing to do with another human being, you know. But yeah. So when I share something like that, that's what that is, 'cause I have disconnected my emotions from people. They don't think I have because I still can be kind and dislike them at the same time. But if I ever get to the point where, and that might just be the point, that's it. And I have my moments like that with people. It's like that's it. That's enough, you know. enough of you, you know. So probably that's my point today is people that were surprised when I finally had enough of them because I seem so kind all the time that they can take advantage of that and they think, well, she's a softie, or whatever they're thinking in their little pea brains. I have no clue, but softie isn't the description, you know. Anyway, just thought I'd make that clear for all you out there. Maybe some of you feel like that. It's like I have a tender heart up to a point, you know. It's like that saying, like the warrior in me is sleeping, not dead, you know. I'm just resting. Don't wake me up, you know. And when people do wake me up, see, this is what's really been on my mind is people overstepping their bounds, the boundaries I set. I don't care if they're in accordance in their own mind or soul with what I feel and how I value myself. These are my rules for me. I don't care what is in accordance with their soul, what their soul finds acceptable or unacceptable. But my standards are high and hard to, um, not hard. I mean, if you have a like mind, um, I'm easy to be around. Um, if you have somewhat unstable nature, you're going to find me difficult. you know. Think the water tastes better today than the coffee. I had about a cup and a half earlier, and now I'm just sipping on some. I don't drink as much as I used to. I used to drink even 2 and 3 pots of coffee a day by myself. So, yeah, I don't, yeah, nothing close to that anymore, which is good. I still make it pretty strong, and then I just add water through the day. It gets weaker through the day, you know. So what's love got to do with it? You know. Back to the mother thing. How many people um, love their lives but don't love who they came out of? You know, I love her. I just don't like her. You know, I love her enough to leave her alone because I don't like her. You know, if I'm going to either even bother telling somebody something that is off that they maybe could correct, I'll take the time. If I see that a person can rise up to the occasion of being a little better of a human being, I'm going to take the time to try and grab for their hand and bring them up with me. And if somebody cares about me, they're going to take time to grab my hand and pull me up too. Same difference. I'm willing to see something that if you're close to me, if there's something that I do that bothers you and it's actually a legitimate stupid thing, you can point that out to me, but you wouldn't have to because I correct myself. But I mean, I'm just saying, if I didn't, I'd be open to that, you know? So, I mean, the honor of motherhood in general. And I mean, the biggest slap in the face is men pretending to be women. Only women bleed, you know. Just get that straight right from the start. And when you're bleeding, you're expending energy. And when you're giving that to a baby and carrying that inside your guts, yeah, whatever. If you don't appreciate that, like I was telling Doug, I'm no longer going to do what is considered manual labor and not be appreciated for it, you know, because he's got somebody picking up a truck today and they might need 3 people. And I'm like, well, are they bringing somebody? Because I'm not helping, you know, and like they're unsure. It doesn't matter. I'm no longer available to do something. If they've got a girlfriend or a wife, they can bring her to do what I might have and used to always do for people, and it was always overlooked. And like doing drywall with my kids after I had those children, the SOB that fathered those children never ever cared about the extra weight on my body and my insides and the gifts I brought onto this planet. All of it, nothing. So I'm at the point now where I'm saving all of my energy just for me and people that actually love me and will prove that because, oh, this is what I got the other day when I mentioned that I'm watching who applauds me when I do something successful and who hasn't applauded me in the past when I deserved that adoration. And what I heard was nobody applauds me. And I said, I'm talking about childbirth. I'm talking about things that should and are not honored. Because I said, if you do things that are spectacular, I'm going to honor you for that. And I always do. I always used to praise people's good points, hoping that they'd rise a little higher. But when I hear that back, when I say this needs to be recognized and honored, well, I'm not honored and I'm just stop right there. Stop it. You didn't do the job the woman does. Just stop it. It's not multiple or two parents giving birth. Like I heard somebody say they're having what was it? Uh like oh just a minute. There is a word for a term, a pregnancy term. Oh, some pains you get, and then the father's saying that they're gaining weight because then they're having these pains, and it's like, get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. You know, you might be able to imagine what that's like, but you're not feeling it. If you're gonna feel some pains, I'll give it to you. You know, the point is women put everybody on this planet and then try to treat that woman like she's identical to the man. No, it isn't like that. You know, that life force energy is a great big deal. It's just like my body was a lot stronger before I had kids, even though it was exceptionally strong after them too, you know. But it weighs on you. It takes out of you to give to another person, you know. Anything you do physically, if you do it hard enough, if it's a hard task, it's going to weigh on you, you know. Society treats motherhood like they're replaceable. My mother wasn't replaceable. She's the one that was meant to give birth to me. And she was the one who was meant to give me away, too. And I'm, in that respect, probably fortunate because my education that I got, good and bad, um, surpassed a lot of people and gave me exactly what I needed to know to combat the dark force that's trying to dishonor moms, you know, with their Baphomet shit and the rest of their combination of having to be um, both genders all in one, you know. What if that was a fluke? What if that is unnatural? What if that was introduced into our human genome to confuse us or you? Mm. These funky ass scientists, they resurrected, so they say they make it sound like they resurrected an ancient wolf breed called the dryer wolf, which is a pure white canine. Beautiful pups. They call it a hybrid. Well, what is it? A total resurrection or a hybrid? Yeah, it's not the original. It's a in hybrid. It isn't the same thing, but they're going to sit there and tell you that they want to resurrect the woolly mammoth. And are you sure you want to do that? You know, they used to have 6 foot rats that weighed 250 pounds. You want them back too? Yeah. Spending all that money trying to bring back an extinct breed, and there's hungry people, women and children and men out on the streets, and a lot of people are concerned about the veterans. Yeah, I am too, but not as much as the families out there because these people signed up to do what they want to do and then didn't recognize that being involved in warfare was going to result in trauma and injuries, you know? So, yes and no. And I've had a lot of vet friends and relatives. I'm not dissing on you. A lot of people go into that thinking that they're doing the right thing for humanity. And they come out, and not a lot of them are honest about what they participated in. What was really cool about Doug's dad, he's full-blooded German, Dwayne Wiest Sr., and we used to talk German a little bit together. Doug knows a northern dialect, but his father and I would speak more a southern dialect that is not as gruff. It's a little softer, you know. Um, instead of sprechen die Deutsch, it's specken die, you know, a little softer speaking Deutschland, you know. So anyway, what was really cool about him, one of the cool things about him is he drove a tank in the Battle of the Bulge and a couple other um, World War One campaigns, and was talking, and he didn't talk a lot about it. In fact, even Doug didn't know a lot of things that his dad and I would talk about, but um, the sorrows that are behind participating in some of them things, to actually get back to the United States and realize with this great big gun you blew away thousands of people and sit with that for the rest of your life, you know? So when he was dying, he said to me he didn't know if there was a God. I said, "Oh, there's a God, and you're going to be okay," you know? So, but yeah, it made him wonder. So, and I've known so many vets that were just heartbroken at the things that they either participated in or saw other people do, like hanging up babies and skinning them after they had been violated in front of their mothers and fathers as a torture type of thing as they went into these little villages, and a lot of vets headed for the jungle and never came back. And the same, there's said to be and probably is still um would be Vietnam War vets that are still like on the island of Hawaii. They went that far, but they never came back mainland because they couldn't deal with all the bullshit. I mean, soldiers came back from that war and were spit on because it was never declared a war. And yeah, it was bad, real bad. So, same with the Korean war vets. Boy, some of them, whew, wow. Amazing things people live through, but they don't function well after they do, you know. Yeah. No, I'm no longer going to be treated like just men and women are identical and that's the way life's going to be. Heads are going to roll. This is enough of this shit out here like that, you know. Just because I might be able to combat a man doesn't mean that every woman is capable of doing that, you know. And yeah, some are, even if they're smaller of stature. That's still not my point. It is not natural and it shouldn't be brought out in a woman. That's where I'm angry. That um the battle of the mother instinct, yes, but not for combat or protection. That is not the role of a female. It isn't in any other species. And the only time like a female lioness is going to turn on the male is if he's the wrong one and she doesn't want to mate with him. She'll chew him up, you know. Maybe he was unworthy. Or maybe it was his mom. I saw a clip on Facebook where a lioness was attacking this lion, you know. But it cut it off at the end, and it showed she kind of sat down, and she went to swan him again as he was coming towards her. So it didn't really show the whole thing. So who knows, right? Could have just been like psychological bullshit out there, you know. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, I've seen lions, but not out in the wild, so. Mm, I was at the Minnesota Zoo. There's more than one, but there's a big one in Minneapolis, and was pregnant, and I had my firstborn with me. He was about 4 and 3 and something, and there was these 2 tigers. One was a Bengal and the other was just a regular tiger, and these people were walking these tigers down the sidewalk past us, you know, and I'm just looking like, and I had always wanted a puma, like a panther, a black panther, or mountain lion, whatever they call them in different parts of the Americas. They have different colorations. They're the same animal, but yeah, always wanted one. Not anymore, but I used to think it would be really cool to raise a mountain lion, you know, like with my wolf or any other wild thing. If you get them where when their eyes are closed, that's probably the best, you know, if you get them after when they've been with their mother the entire time. Maybe that would have helped me if they would have took me away from my mom before I opened my eyes. I was adopted, if some of you don't know. Anyway, so, well, that's my point today. Um, the disrespect that women are getting on this planet, and men are here to help lift us up, not pound us into the ground and try and act like we are them or they are us. No. Enough of this bullshit. Like I say, and I want you to really consider this hard. Maybe those combination strands of DNA are abnormal. Think about that. I have a lot. What a way to break down what is natural by taking thousands of years and combining what is unnatural with the natural. So, anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded. I appreciate you joining me. Hope you have a really beautiful night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.